Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to a new episode of New Lunar Radio. I'm your host, Jay Brony.
And I'm here, Daylight Darkle.
And this week, even though we had planned to do a double episode this week, there was only one episode of Ponies for 2 weeks. So, our laziness has not caused any payoff, and it has not caused any delays either. So,
We could just take another week off.
we could, but we're not going to. We're going to record this now.
Dang.
And it'll be in the can. Who knows when people will hear it, but it'll be there. In other news, Earth is screwed up. The weather's all crazy. It was 75 degrees here yesterday, and now it's 31. And snowing. It's not cool, Earth. It's not cool.
I'd love some snow. Give me some snow. Just send it to me in the mail.
Snow is cool. I don't mind seeing snow. I just hate that it has to be cold for it to happen. But I mean, I enjoy the cold more than the hot, but it's too cold.
No such thing.
It is indeed too cold.
You can just wear more clothes.
I agree. That's why I like it more than being too hot, but I've been too cold for too long. So there's a perfect temperature. It's right in the 60s. I like this time of year because when it's in the 60s, low humidity, it's perfectly tolerable. You can wear a heavier shirt or a really light jacket and, just kind of move around outside with no problems. You can have the windows open. You don't need to run the AC yet. All that stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
This going all the way up to 75, 80, and then coming all the way down to 30 does not lend itself to that. And I don't like it. Everybody, Darkle's pretty high energy this week, so why don't we just dive right into the show?
I'm so high energy, you just don't even know.
So high energy.
Mm-hmm.
So we open on the library with Twilight studying outside, only to be interrupted by Rainbow Dash. Turns out Rainbow is supposed to be studying for a history test on the Wonderbolts.
So that's why she stopped by the library, right?
Sure. Twi is going to confront Rainbow Dash about her lackadaisical approach to studying, but Rainbow Dash was able to overhear her and cuts her off at the pass, which is the first foreshadowing moment of the episode.
Mm-hmm.
Bum, 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 bum.
Episodes have foreshadowing? No way.
Oh my god. Twi explains that she should be studying for the test because if she doesn't pass, she won't be able to get into the newly formed Wonderbolt's reserves. And if she doesn't get into there, she'll never be a Wonderbolt. Ever.
Huh.
Rainbow Dash then proceeds to give Twilight a hard time about her freak out and her overbearingness when it comes to tests and studying. And Rainbow Dash tells her that she doesn't get freaked out about tests like she does, and she should just calm down. Twilight then admits that she might get a little bit intense about tests. She then offers to help Rainbow study for the test, much to Rainbow's visual dismay. And outward, great. This is great. Ooh.
Woo. So you think Twilight will have gray hairs when she grows older from all the stress?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Do ponies get gray hair?
I'm sure
or is it just a random color based on everything else that's supposedly random?
Randomness.
Mm-hmm. Like she'll just get hot pink hairs.
I don't
Rainbow
know.
rocks.
Well, her main job, the main dye job that she has done every week, even though she says this is her natural color, but it's not.
Mm-hmm.
Mare has gray hair, but that might be dye.
Maybe.
Nope,
I'm a man now. I gotta act old.
So Twi and Rainbow Dash get to studying, with Twilight leading the way. Twilight, of course, has a study checklist. First up is reading and highlighting. Something that I never really did. I never really highlighted anything in books.
Yeah, I don't get the point.
Like Twilight says, it's supposed to help separate the wheat from the chaff, from the important from the not important. But
if it's in a book, it should all be important.
that's And simple enough, Rainbow does exactly that. She just starts highlighting everything. And, well, she also makes a humorous drawing of Twilight. Twilight remarks that she's not that tall. Since the reading and highlighting has failed, Twilight resorts to a history lecture, because we all know how Rainbow Dash can, sit still for long periods of time.
Right? I mean, Twilight is thinking this through.
Right. Of course, Rainbow Dash wants to do anything but listen to the lesson. And while Twilight is laying out some of the history, the EUP platoons to protect Celestia after she was banished Luna, blah, blah, blah. Boring Wonderbolt's history.
I have to say, EUP has to be the worst name ever.
It just stands for Earth, Pony, Unicorn, and Pegasus. It's dumb.
It should have been EPUP.
EPUB. What's the...
Earth, Pony.
Yeah.
2 separate words there.
Yeah. So, just to finish out the rest of the history, after the EUP was formed, there was a elite flying squad in the EUP, and the Celestia, and they choreographed moves and went on display. There was a couple generals and blah, blah, blah. It's pretty much the story of the Blue Angels, just in pony form. And they eventually formed a choreographed flight group, and eventually they were named the Wonderbolts, because during one of their shows they came together in such furious flying moves that lightning shot off of them and stuff, and then Wonderbolts. So the history is repeated at least 5 times in different ways throughout this episode, so I'm not going to go through the history every single time it happens. I'll just mention that they go through the history. So, But continuing on, Rainbow Dash, while listening, discovers that her stool squeaks when she rocks it back and forth. She ends up amusing herself with this, and is even joined by Spike with a drum and owlicious hooing for a cute little musical number. It was pretty humorous. Twilight notices that she's not paying attention and isn't too happy about it. And it turns out Rainbow Dash is also more interested in pranking her than learning. So next we move on to Twilight's favorite learning device, flashcards.
I thought this was a children's show.
I know, flashcards.
You're not allowed to flash. Or I guess they're all naked anyways.
Of course, Rainbow Dash is too busy shooting spitwads at Twilight's cards, and Twilight has enough and challenges Rainbow Dash to a pop quiz to prove that she's not ready. As expected, Rainbow Dash fails miserably, mostly answering with close answers mixed with breakfast foods because she's hungry.
Makes sense.
It also sort of starts to sink in that if she fails the test, the real test, her dreams of being a Wonderbolt would be over, and she kind of starts to freak out. And then eventually starts to blame Twilight for being a bad teacher. Twilight, of course, then gives her a hard time back about not knowing the information, and that, she could pass the test, and now that she has wings, she could probably just try to join the Wonderbolts directly. Rainbow Dash responds with, "It's not all about, the smarts. You gotta, you can't just say you're gonna fly. You have to be a good flyer." And eventually, Fluttershy comes up and steps in, cools them off, reminds them that they're actually friends, and they shouldn't be fighting, because that's not cool.
I thought friends were for fighting.
Well, I don't think it was at first it was fine, and then it started to get super heated, and then it needed cooled down. And that's what Fluttershy did. She stepped in, she cooled it down a little bit. They apologized to each other for being a little bit overzealous in their jabs. Twilight said that she's tried helping Rainbow Dash, but nothing has worked so far, and Fluttershy has an idea that might help. So she has her all the pets put on a play to show the history of the Wonderbolts. Of course, the play ends up going badly, and Rainbow Dash still doesn't learn anything. But Pinkie Pie shows up and shows her enthusiasm. And after, complaining again that she still hasn't learned anything, Pinkie decides to help her out with a little 90s style rap in the vein of "Don't copy that floppy" and other trying to be cool educational videos from the 90s.
Dude, don't even joke. Don't copy your floppy was the greatest thing ever.
Don't copy that floppy, man.
I can't say the same about the sequel, though. That was just trying too hard.
Don't copy that floppy. The minute I saw it, I was like, oh crap, that's Don't Copy the Floppy in pony form.
Don't Copy the Floppy was amazing.
The funny thing is the first time I ever saw Don't Copy That Floppy was actually in school for educational purposes.
Mm-hmm.
It was in library class or like in the library. They're like, we're going to show you a video about computer software. The funny thing is none of the computers in the library had floppy disks anymore. They were all CD-ROMs at that point. Yep. So they were the Apple case protected style CD-ROMs, but definitely not floppies anymore.
And is it me, or would a word processing program not fit on one floppy?
It depends.
I remember multi-floppy installed for everything.
Yeah. But the other funny part about it is it's a 90s style rap, and it's 2014. None of the age range for this show would have had any idea what that was. Like they would not have been alive during this time period. Hell, even some of our demographic wasn't alive during this time period.
Yeah. But we're talking about it, so that makes it K.
Yep.
I still need to finish watching The Great Lebowski. I watched about half of it, and then was like, okay, I'll watch it later, and then it's not on Netflix anymore.
The Netflix curse strikes again.
But all I really want is more Stargate.
Stargate. Anyways, off of the 90s for a second, and back to the episode. Rainbow Dash thinks for a second that she has it, but it turns out that she still doesn't know anything about the history of the Wonderbolts.
Mm-hmm.
Rarity then shows up wearing a ridiculous outfit that, with her turn to help Rainbow Dash to study. It's costume association for some weird reason.
That
Rarity
never works.
Yeah, Rarity.
That's just stupid.
Yeah. Turns out, we get to see the history of the Wonderbolts uniforms. They seem pretty, militaristic, but even one of them even had bell bottoms. But as things progress, they got a little bit better, and eventually getting to the skin tight attire that we have today. Rainbow Dash still can't get the info into her brain parts, mostly because, well, learning by costume association is weird and dumb. And Applejack agrees with that. And Rarity is not amused by that fact either.
Mm-hmm.
Rainbow asks for her special study trick, but it turns out she just doesn't have one. She just learns on the fly. And asks her how much time she's got. And turns out she has 12 hours. And Applejack says she's up a creek without a paddle.
I liked that movie when it was in theaters, but not much anymore.
I actually saw that movie.
What?
I actually saw that movie in the theater.
Yeah. Are we not doing random things anymore?
What?
Are we not doing random things anymore?
I don't know.
Okay.
Everyone then tries to reassert their study method onto Rainbow, and she gets frustrated and flies off. Twilight chases after her, and Rainbow Dash admits, well, they were just trying to help. She just wasn't getting it.
Mm-hmm.
Twilight says that they just need to find a method that Rainbow Dash can actually learn with. And while they're having their conversation, we look at the ground and see that there's a bunch of stuff happening. Also Twilight tries to convince Rainbow that she can learn things. They just need, like I said, to find the right way to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And then suddenly Rainbow Dash pushes Twilight out of the way of an oncoming helicopter driven by an Earth pony.
This should really be a Pegasus air traffic controller.
Twilight was amazed that she was able to see the helicopter in time, and Rainbow Dash says that she always takes in all of her surrounding while she's flying, and then goes through recounting the events of what happened on the ground just a couple seconds ago. CMC coming out of the sugar cube corner, eating some carrot sprinkled cupcakes, and Big Mac selling some apples to Filthy Rich. All of a sudden, Twilight has some great inspiration and she flies off. Rainbow Dash gets pretty emo about it, saying that I wouldn't want to hang out with a dummy like me either. And then she gathers up a cloud and lays on it, and it turns into a rain cloud, and it starts raining. Pretty much having given up on her dream of ever being a Wonderbolt, and being, pretty much downright depressed, for, which I would totally understand at this point. So they head back, Twilight heads back and enlists the help of her friends, saying, we need to help Rainbow Dash, and then she has an idea. So then she goes up and they set up the plan. Then Twilight goes and gets Rainbow and says, hey, why don't we go for a fly? And Rainbow's like, didn't we just do this? And Twilight's like, I suck at flying, so I need to practice more. And Rainbow's like, yeah, you pretty much do. And they share some small talk and just fly through town. Talk about how Pinkie Pie grew up on a rock farm and how that she should be a Wonderbolt and stuff like that. And that's when she reveals that she's given up on her dream and that Twilight should give up on trying to help her. And eventually they end up landing at Rainbow's house, and Twilight asks her what she remembers about the flight. Rainbow Dash says that nothing special happened, and then she launches into the entire history of the Wonderbolt.
Which is really short, and why is she stressing over a test that's basically a memorization of a paragraph?
I don't know. She ends up being pretty surprised that she knows the history of the Wonderbolts just out of nowhere, as I would be as well. Twilight then reveals that her friends, and part of the town too, showed her the info on the ground through reenactment and big flashcards while she was flying, and she absorbed it along the way, in the way that works for her. Rainbow Dash is, of course, very grateful for the help, and Twilight reminds her that it was her all along. They just needed to find the right way for her to learn. Twilight writes in the journal about how everybody learns in their own special way because everybody's different, and Rainbow Dash takes the test, and after a couple suspenseful moments, she passes with flying colors. Get it? Because she's Rainbow Horse.
Yes. I got it.
Yes. Explaining lame jokes makes them better. Okay, so that was the episode. What did you think of testing 1, 2, 3?
I saw a couple things wrong with the episode.
Oh yeah? What'd you see wrong with it?
Like when they were fighting about the different, and Rainbow gets flying off and says that the test was in 12 hours. That was in the middle of the day.
I know.
Who has tests in the middle of the night?
See, but yeah, I don't know. Tests in the middle of the night. Maybe there's a time difference. Like she had to go all the way to Canterlot to do it, and there's it's 3 hours off or something like that. I don't know.
I don't think so.
I don't know, man. Who knows? Maybe it was early evening and the test was in the morning.
Maybe. Also, during the final flight when they were doing all that stuff, why didn't Rainbow just go, what the hell? Stop. Like, what the hell are you guys doing?
What the hell are you guys doing down there? Why are you doing that? Stop it.
Stop.
You're annoying the crap out of me. I can't even concentrate on flying.
Jeez, guys, you want me to crash or something?
I don't know. I thought Pinky's rap was cool, though I'm sure everybody else did too. And Rainbow Dash's little dance on the stool, that was pretty fun too. I enjoyed that immensely. Probably more than anything else in the episode. Rainbow Dash did have some pretty good faces too, but that's most pony episodes these days. There's always at least a handful of faces that are pretty good. So, so yeah, I would say for a filler episode, it's all right. I still don't think that we're ever going to see Rainbow Dash become a Wonderbolt on screen. She's always going to be going towards the next step of becoming part of the Wonderbolts Reserve / super secret corps / not the real Wonderbolts ever, because that would ruin her dynamic in the show. Blah.
Ponies are never
blah.
allowed to realize a dream. Rarity's never going to become super, super famous.
Right.
Rainbow's never going to be a Wonderbolt. Applejack is never going to expand the farm in any way and just work, work, work.
Mm-hmm.
Fluttershy is never going to get rid of her animal friends. And Twilight is never going to become a friend. Oh, wait.
Oh, no!
Burn!
Twilight is the only one who ever gets to realize her dreams.
Dreams of becoming horrible.
What about Pinkie Pie? You forgot Pinkie Pie. Something.
Pinkie Pie doesn't have any aspirations.
Something, don't get diabetes.
Something rock farm.
something rocks. Something, don't get diabetes. Something.
Something. Yeah.
So, I guess we'll move on to news then. We're rapidly approaching the season finale. We only got 4 episodes left. So 5 episodes. Sorry, 5 episodes left. So yeah. Speaking of which, I'm going to stick a news in here that I didn't even throw on the thing.
What?
Womp, 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 womp.
What?
It is about the finale. They released the...
Oh, right, I saw that.
Yeah, they released the name and a slight synopsis, and the fact that it's a 2-parter, and it's airing on the same day, May 10th. So...
I forget what it was, I just remember it was horrible.
It's called Twilight's Kingdom. Synopsis for part 1 is Princess Celestia chooses Discord over Princess Twilight to help track down a villain. And the second part is the other princesses transfer all of their magical power to Twilight in hopes of saving Equestria.
And that's why it was horrible. So are we going to see some super powered, like, are we going to see Twilight go to Super Saiyan?
Rainbow powered.
Dang it, I was going there.
Rainbows.
I was going there.
Rainbows.
Are you saying that rainbow rocks?
Rainbows do rock.
Maybe the movie won't be as bad. Maybe it'll just be about Maud.
You know what Rainbow rocks? It rocks your body on the Game of Life.
Oh no.
So the My Little Pony version of the Game of Life that was canceled is no longer canceled anymore.
What?
So pretty soon we will have a Game of Life and Monopoly that are MLP style.
Isn't the game of Monopoly already out?
Yes it is.
I love how if you look at the box art and only read the logos, it's My Little Pony Life.
Yep. It says the Game of Life in there. Pretty small, but
yeah, this is not noticeable on the light blue background. And that is an odd choice of characters they got there.
Yeah, it is Derpy, Vinyl, Scratch, and Dr. Hooves.
And Twilight.
And Twilight. Princess Twilight. With
the game,
wings.
Yeah, the game has been in hiatus so long that they just slapped on the wings.
Just slap on the wings. It's covering up that other pony. Who cares? Just put them on there.
Gotta get Twilight. Bam! Let's go live.
Supposedly it's releasing sometime in August.
Supposedly. Pre-orders.
Pre-order it now on your favorite websites and stuff. So, a couple weeks ago, we talked about Jan Animations and how he got most of his stuff taken off of YouTube because of a copyright claim.
Mm-hmm.
And he's been working with Hasbro Legal, I guess.
Sorry.
It's all right. And they were able to come to an agreement to get Don't Mind at Night put back up, which is a song parody of Katy Perry's Last Friday Night.
All right.
That is about Minecraft and has ponies, particularly Button Mash and Sweetie Belle.
Mm-hmm.
So that's back up. Slowly but surely, his videos are coming back. They probably won't all come back, but that is that. Speaking of games, this weekend, April 18th through the 20th, there's another Legends of Equestria open server weekend. This will be the second one. That means
Can I call mid or feed?
Sure. You could become epic level carry in Legends of Equestria.
I'll farm my bloodthirster.
That being said, provided I get this up in time, if you hear this episode, I would highly recommend you take a look at it because A, I know a friend or two that are working on this game. They are working hard and they would really appreciate the feedback and enjoying their product. And two, with Hasbro Legal coming down hard on all kinds of fan projects these days, this server weekend could be the last, the next to last, who knows.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. Play it while you can. Who knows if it'll be there next month, next year, whatever. It starts April 18th at 12:01 a.m. and it closes at 11:59 on the 20th. You can get the game client from legendsofequestria.com/downloads. It'll be available for download on the 17th, but of course the servers won't be open until the 18th. It's a new version than what was out last time, so make sure you download the new version of the game.
Mm-hmm.
Also, that you need to have a forum account to be able to log into the servers. You can sign up for a forum account right now, whenever you hear this. So go sign up for it, and then you will be all set to come back on the 17th and get the game client. And then after that, you'll be all set on the 18th to play. So keep that ready. Keep that in your playbook, and we'll move on to the next episode. The next news item. It's not an episode. Silly Jabroni, forgetting how words work. So speaking of Rainbow Rocks, there was another short released. Hamstocalypse Now.
So is there going to be a Ham Tara crossover?
No.
Why not?
What we find out is that Rarity is bad with animals and good with clothes, and Fluttershy is good with animals.
And bad with clothes. Oh, wait.
We don't really even see the bad with clothes part in this. Plus, she's not.
Yeah, I was just going to say.
So
if Fluttershy is both good with animals and clothes, why is Rarity needed?
Because Rarity is better at clothes than Fluttershy. So the synopsis of this is that it's the annual cleaning of the hamster cages at the pet store, and Fluttershy, of course, offers to do it because she's so nice to her animal friends. And while she's cleaning the cage, all the hamsters have to be outside of it for some reason. I mean, I understand it, but why did they have to leave the room? I don't know. Whatever. Maybe they're just ashamed of getting their own poop cleaned off of things. I don't know. Whatever. And
maybe it's because when the tubes are wet, the fur sticks to everything, and it just becomes a battle of attrition.
True. So Rarity has come along to assist Fluttershy in watching the hamsters. Fluttershy cleans the cage and comes out to see that Rarity is not having a good time. She's made clothes for all the hamsters, and also named them, but they don't respect her. So she uses a tambourine to bring them all in line and then get them back into the thing. And while she's playing her tambourine, she gets magical powers somehow. Just like, all the other Rainbow Rocks clips, short things, powers, whatever, junk.
This doesn't make sense.
Yeah. So we go from talking about BabsCon every week.
BabsCon, woo!
And this would technically be the last time that we can officially say anything about BabsCon, at least BabsCon 2014, because it is this weekend.
Sunday.
So that being said, there's been no major announcements about it since the last announcements that we made, or the last newses that we read, I should say. We're not making the announcements, we're just relaying them to you. They're making the announcements. So we are now have a huge influx of news from Buck, which is the UK based convention.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just going to go through these names and just throw down some names here. First up, Heather Breckel, freelance colorist for the comic series. And then pretty much we're just going to move straight into music guests. It's all music guests for what they call their Summer Sun celebration, which is their music thing inside of the convention. Definitely go talk to Heather. She's cool. Yeah, Heather Breckel's cool. Anyways, first up, Living Tombstone, Lavender Harmony, and Icky.
Icky?
Icky.
Icky?
Icky, Icky.
Icky?
Then Mike the Microphone will also be there. And he is the master of ceremonies this year at Buck 2014. Also, Prince Whatever, with a full rock band ensemble. Also, a recording with a full rock band ensemble, Acoustic Brony.
I know that you might not like the guy, but you just can't call him Prince Whatever.
Hey man, that's just his name.
No, you're being so disrespectful. Whatever, Jay, whatever.
Jay, whatever. They're also going to. They're also welcoming. They're also welcoming. Oh God, I can't even say it. General Mumble's coming back, and H Mage is also coming back, and yeah. Oh, also Attica.
Like the movie?
No, at
That was a good movie though.
At DCT, yeah, maybe. Anyways, lots of music guests at Buck. They pretty much just dumped their whole guest list, I think, on us all at once. So
Instead of making us repeat it week after week after BabCon.
Bab's gone. So then we also have Galacon. Is Galacon? That is the German pony convention.
Mm-hmm.
And we have some German voice actors and some fan favorites. First up, Jennifer Weeb. I think that's how you pronounce that.
It's way beta.
Way beta. Sure, way beta. It is a beta symbol on her name, so.
Way beta.
She is the German version of Pinkie Pie. She also did some voices for Ozymandias in German and some characters in the Professor Layton.
Ooh.
In German.
Oh.
And then Julia Mainen. She's the German voice of Twilight Sparkle. She was at the first Galacon in 2012. She does some Sword Art Online.
Which was just
Monster
put on
High.
Netflix.
Yeah. I hear the first season of that is good, and then the second season is terrible.
Well, I wouldn't say that. I'd say that the first season is good, and the second season is just... They should have just stopped at the first season. It's kind of like, what can I compare this to? What can I compare this to?
I've heard a lot of if they had just ended the first season with like a good ending point, not wanting you to want more, like that would have been fine. Like then, but the thing is, they leave it so open ended that you want more, and then what they deliver is just total garbage. So
it was just strange for the second season, and they could have fleshed it out more. And it was like, here's this. Ah.
Is there going to be a third season, or
I don't believe it. I can just check the Wikipedia article.
I'll finish up these last two names while you're looking that up. The other two guests are Ellie Monty. She's going to be over from the States doing her thing, and Laser Pony, he's from the Netherlands. So all that stuff. So what's the verdict there on Sword Art Online?
Oh god. Oh no. Oh no.
Oh noes.
I think there might be more.
No.
Well, there's more in the source material of the manga, but for the anime, I don't know.
It kind of reminded me of, like, when I first saw the preview, I was like, are they just doing .hack again? Because it seemed a lot like .hack.
No, I think there's gonna be more. No. It's gonna be airing again July 2014.
But yeah, when I first saw the preview, I was like, isn't that just what .hack was? Like, it's an MMO, and they're stuck in there, and if they die, in the MMO. They die in real life.
Yeah,
That's literally what Dot Hack was. I mean, it was a game first, and then it became an anime. But yeah,
this one just kind of like, aha. Yeah, I think it's gonna go on some more. I didn't expect that.
well,
More stuff I have to watch.
I have to take a second out here since we're kind of a little bit off topic of. Well, we're on topic of other shows.
We can never be off topic. We decide what the topic is.
This is true.
Like, we don't answer to anyone but us. We could talk about anything
True.
and call it a show.
Huh?
Yeah, anyways, go on.
I have to say that as far as shows on TV go right now, you can keep your Game of Thrones, you can keep your other things that are on TV that are sometimes good.
Mm-hmm.
The best show on TV that it just finished its first season as of yesterday. Best show on TV, Rick and Morty. Watch Rick and Morty, you stupid fools. Watch it now. Watch it long. Watch it hard. 11 episodes in the first season. Some of the greatest TV you will ever watch. It has everything. You will laugh. You will cry. You will be scared. You will be in suspense. All these things and more can be had for you with Rick and Morty and at Zombocom. So,
Zombocom?
Zombocom.
Can I do anything?
You can do anything
At Zombocom?
at Zombocom.
Speaking of television shows, I learned what one of my coworkers, I didn't see her until like a month after I started because she was on maternity leave.
Mm-hmm.
She just had a child. And speaking of TV shows, any guess what she named her child?
Please tell me it was Honey Boo Boo.
It was not. It was Serenity.
What?
And so she mentioned her daughter Serenity, and I asked her just tongue in cheek, like, so you can't take this guy away from her? And she just gave me a look. It's like, what? It's like, you don't know what I'm talking about.
But yes, I must reiterate, Rick and Morty, best show on TV. Go watch it.
I'm waiting for the expansion for the Firefly board game to come out. Let me look up what one that's coming out.
Which board game?
Firefly.
Oh yeah, the Firefly board game.
Which I bought. Oh, I can buy it now.
What?
What? That wasn't there when I looked last week. When did it come out?
Last week, maybe?
Maybe.
So, I think that brings us to the end of the episode. You're going to go buy board games.
No, I have to look up when it came out.
Well, hurry it up.
I'm looking on Amazon. Oh, it's not on Amazon, that's why.
Come on, man. Come on.
So that's the only place I looked for was Amazon.
All right.
And no one.
So, Firefly board game. Verdict, yes, no. Give us your quick verdict.
I'd say yes.
Okay.
It
So,
was published April, so I win.
April.
Mm-hmm.
Good job.
It's a pre-order.
Oh, snap.
It's published date April, so it hasn't come out yet, but I can pre-order it
Sweet.
for $25. That's almost as much as I paid it for the original game.
And it's just an expansion?
It's just an expansion.
Well, that's a bummer.
I'd still do it.
Well, that said, I think we should end this episode. What do you think?
Maybe.
All right. Well, it was good talking to everybody. Have a good week.
Bye.
Bye-bye.